Hello and welcome back to another episode with Vendifi and myself, Bradley Geldenhuys, to help you with getting DORA compliant. So today we're going to be going through a big one, Register of Information. We have done a number of these shows before where we did contractual obligations in DORA and we did risk. You can check those out in the video links below. But today, big one, the vendor asset register or the vendor register or the register of information. And so here it is in all of its glory, the register of information template illustration. This is still the draft. We haven't got the actual one yet, but this is the final draft. So it's going to be near enough, makes no difference to this probably. So let's run through the main seven steps to getting this register information template up and running. So step one, understand the scope. Identify all ICT services provided by third-party providers. All. Doesn't matter if they're critical or non-critical, you need to identify all of them and include contractual arrangements related to the services regardless of whether they're important or not. And that's quite laid out in Article 28, paragraph 3 in the regulation. So that's step one. Let's get that list. Let's get going. And in here, this is kind of where things are starting to go down in our little illustration here. You'll see that there is a disclaimer referring to everything in Article 28.3. But again, we're going to take you through this. So step one, understanding the scope. We've got it. Okay. Step two, gather necessary information. You need a legal entity identifier, LEI. Ensure all ICT third-party services providers that they are legal persons and have a LEI. Then you need to take all contractual arrangement details, collect the information on all contractual arrangements, including contractual arrangement reference number, the type of contractual arrangement. So all of this information is in RTO 201, so we can check that out here. And so there we go, contractual arrangement, type of contractual arrangement, overarching contractual arrangement reference, currency, the amount reported in, and then the annual expenditure. And then you can see over here the type of contractual arrangements that they are available, standalone, overarching, subsequent, or associated arrangements. So yes, that's all available in RTO 201. And so yeah, pretty straightforward there on step two, gathering the necessary information. This is when it starts to get a little bit tricky. Step three, maintain the register of information. So general information, including details about the financial entity, maintaining the register, such as legal entity identifier, legal name, country of registration, type of entity, and then entities within the scope. List all entities within the group, including branches and subsidiaries. And then contractual arrangements, provide general specific information about each contractual arrangement, start date, notice periods, governing law, sensitiveness of the data stored and processed. And then you've got a number of areas where this is highlighted. So starts here, RT 0101, and then it moves on to 02, and then 201, and then 202. And that's the big one. That's where everything needs to go. So each one's going to reference each other until all of those items are filled in. And so that's fairly complex. But again, you've just got to reference each one of the suppliers that you have and put all the information in. Step four, document the ICT service supply chain. So you need to identify subcontractors and document all subcontractors that underpin the ICT services supporting critical or important functions. So anything critical and important, you need to add the third party or subcontractors there. And then you need to rank subcontractors, assign a rank to each subcontractor based on their position in the ICT service supply chain. And so you can go over to RT 5.2 here and contractual arrangements, type of ICT services, identification code. Again, just referencing throughout the document so that it's easily referenceable and see what's going on. Here's the fun one: rank, natural number. So from 1 to 10, I suppose. I think they need to clear up if 10 is good and 1 is bad, or 1 is good and 10 is bad, but there's a rank here. And yeah, that's step 5, the assess the ICT services. Step 6, regularly update the register. Review and update regularly. Review the information in the register to ensure accuracy and consistency. So if you're doing this manually, I can assure you it's going to be difficult, especially when referencing one sheet to the next. It's a good thing there are tools for that. And make sure that anything that happens, you need to maintain the records for up to 5 years after termination. So anyone here in the space that you're adding, all the records of the contractual agreements need to be available for up to 5 years. So that's your step 6, regularly update the register. And then finally, step 7, reporting. Ensure the register of information is available to competent authorities for supervision and oversight. So this needs to be available in a location that you can share, like SharePoint would be a good spot, and give the regulatory compliance access to this so they can see everything in one location whilst being updated continuously. And that's it. Those are the 7 easy steps to follow to get compliant with your DORA Register of Information, aka your vendor register. If you have any questions, please contact us and we'll be happy to help. Other than that, God bless. See you soon.